You can earn good money, have a degree, work hard every single day, and still never become wealthy. This is not a provocation, it's the core message of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is Cash Explain, and today I want to explain 5 fundamental lessons from this book. Lessons that are not about getting rich fast, but about completely changing the way you see money. 1. The rich don't work only for money. The first major lesson is that the rich don't work only for money. From an early age, most of us are taught that the goal in life is to study, get a good job, and receive a paycheck at the end of the month. The problem is that this teaches you to depend on money, not to control it. In the book, the poor dad believes in stability, promotions, and retirement. The rich dad, on the other hand, teaches that the real goal is to build sources of income that work even when you are not working. Wealthy people don't just trade time for money. They create systems, businesses, and investments that make money work for them. Being rich is not about earning a lot, it's about not needing to work to survive. The rich dad teaches that working only for money puts you in an endless race. You earn money, pay bills, go into debt, need to earn more, and enter a cycle that repeats month after month. Those who work to learn and build assets, however, use work as a means, not as an end. A job becomes a tool for learning and initial capital, not a final destination. There is also a very important psychological aspect to this lesson: fear. The fear of not having money makes people accept bad situations, jobs they hate, and terrible financial decisions. When you work only for a paycheck, money starts to control you. When you learn how to generate money in other ways, you begin to regain control over your time and your choices. 2. Financial education is more important than academic education. The second lesson is that financial education is not taught in school. Schools train great employees, but they rarely teach how money really works. We don't learn about taxes, investments, debt, or how to generate income. That's why there are highly qualified people with good salaries who still live in debt or paycheck to paycheck. The rich dad believed that if you don't understand money, you will spend your entire life working for those who do. Financial education is not about complicated numbers. It's about making better decisions with the money you earn. One of the most important points of this lesson is the role of taxes. Most people work, receive their paycheck, and pay taxes automatically, without ever understanding how much they are paying or why. Those who understand financial education learn how taxes work first and only then learn how to make money. This completely changes the way decisions are made. The rich dad explains that companies and investors play a different game because they know the rules before entering the game. The book also shows that many people increase their income but continue to face the same financial problems. This happens because their spending habits rise along with their income. Without financial knowledge, earning more money only makes mistakes bigger. Financial education is not about how much you earn, it's about how you manage, protect, and multiply what you earn. This lesson does not criticize school itself. It criticizes the false sense of security that traditional education creates. A diploma can open doors, but it does not guarantee financial stability. Only knowledge about money can do that. And once you understand that financial education is a personal responsibility, not something that will be taught to you automatically, your relationship with money changes forever. Without financial education, you work your entire life to earn money. With financial education, you learn how to make money work for you. And that difference separates those who survive from those who build freedom. 3. Assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take money out. The third lesson, perhaps the most famous one in the book, is the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. It sounds simple, but most people spend their entire lives buying liabilities while believing they are investing. Financed cars, recurring expenses, debt, and monthly payments do not build wealth. Assets such as investments, businesses, and recurring income sources do. The mistake is not wanting comfort or quality of life, but seeking those things before building a solid financial foundation. Assets first, luxury later. Another important point is that assets don't have to be something huge. They can start small, a simple investment, a side business, or a project that generates income. What matters is the mindset of consistently directing part of your money towards something that will work for you in the future. This lesson also teaches discipline. Every time you receive money, There is a choice. Spend it now or build something that will pay you later. Those who always choose now remain stuck in the present. Those who build assets buy time and freedom in the future. When you truly understand the difference between assets and liabilities, your financial decisions change automatically. You begin to consume consciously, invest with intention, and use money as a tool, not as an emotional reward. And it is exactly this mindset shift that separates those who spend their lives chasing money from those who make money work in their favor. 4. Fear and comfort keep people trapped. The fourth lesson is that fear and comfort keep people trapped. The fear of making mistakes, losing money, or stepping outside the comfort zone causes many people to repeat the same financial patterns for decades. The book shows that making mistakes is part of learning. Those who never lose also never learn. An excessive pursuit of stability can be more dangerous than risk itself, because it prevents growth. Financially successful people learn how to deal with risk intelligently instead of simply avoiding it. The book shows that many people prefer a false sense of stability today over true freedom in the future. They accept jobs they don't like, exhausting routines, and limited financial growth because the fear of trying something different feels greater than their current discomfort. The Rich Dad challenges this logic and teaches that too much stability can be more dangerous than calculated risk. The Rich Dad teaches that financially free people learn to control their emotions before trying to control money. They understand that risk is part of the process, that temporary discomfort is necessary, and that real security does not come from a fixed salary, but from the ability to generate income in different scenarios. This lesson is not an invitation to recklessness. It is not about quitting everything or gambling irresponsibly. It is about developing emotional intelligence when dealing with money. It is about stepping out of the comfort zone in a conscious, calculated, and strategic way. At its core, the fourth lesson reveals a simple and harsh truth. As long as fear makes decisions for you, money will never be your ally. But when you learn to face discomfort, insecurity stops being a barrier and becomes a sign of growth. 5. Work to learn, not just to earn. The fifth lesson is to work to learn, not just to earn. Early in your career, salary is not the most important factor. What matters most are the skills you develop along the way. The book talks about learning sales, negotiation, communication, leadership, and financial intelligence. Money comes and goes, but skills last forever. A good salary without skills keeps you trapped. Skills without a high salary prepare you to earn much more in the future. This lesson does not mean ignoring money or accepting low pay forever. It means understanding phases. First, you build skills. Then, you monetize those skills strategically. Those who skip the first stage often remain stuck with limited salaries. Those who respect the process build exponential growth. At its core, this lesson teaches that the most important asset you can build is not a financial investment. It is yourself. Your knowledge, your experience, and your ability to solve problems are assets that no one can take away from you. In the end, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not an investment manual or a magic formula to get rich. It is a book about mindset. It forces you to question everything you've learned about work, money, and success. If you keep thinking like the majority, you will live like the majority. But when you change the way you think, money starts to follow different rules. The true value of this book is not in promising quick wealth, but in planting a seed, the seed of financial awareness. From the moment you begin to see money as a tool, rather than a final goal, your decisions change, your priorities shift, and over time, your results change as well. No one builds financial freedom overnight. It is built through small, consistent choices, learning before spending, investing before consuming, and thinking long-term while most people focus only on the present. Over time, this set of choices is what separates those who live paycheck to paycheck from those who build independence. If this video made sense to you, leave a like, subscribe to Cash Explain, and comment below which of these lessons changed the way you see money the most. Here, we don't talk about easy money, we talk about mindset, strategy, and financial freedom.